Hello! Today we're going to read a story that you might be familiar with, and it might be that the wind is changing. We're going to be reading Mary Poppins. I love this story, and I hope you do too. If you're looking for number 17 Cherry Tree Lane, and it is likely that you are, this book is all about that particular house. You'll find it. 4 children live here. Jane, the oldest, Michael, her brother, and the twins. The family's nanny had left unexpectedly, and it was bedtime. Outside, the east wind blew, very much like today, howling through the cherry trees that lined the street. The wind madly spun Admiral Boom's weather vane. See it out the window? It's spinning like crazy because the wind is changing. Michael joined his sister Jane at the window. The twins were howling as loud as the wind, and that's when a strange flying shape came towards them. It was a woman carrying an umbrella in one hand and a bag in the other. The wind seemed to fling her at the house, where she landed heavily against the front door, quieting even the twins. "I've never seen that before," said Michael. "Who do you think it is?" Neither had their parents, for they promptly opened the door. At the top of the landing, the children watched as the curious visitor flew up the banister. Jane and Michael slid down the banister all the time, much to their parents' dismay, but never up. Despite the wind, she was neat as a pin. There was something that was exciting about her. Oh, a bunny rabbit just ran by. That's exciting. "I am Mary Poppins." "How did you find us?" asked Jane. "The wind blew me here," she said, and then Mary Poppins wasted no time in getting settled. She removed her hat, she set down her umbrella, and from her strange bag she pulled out a starched apron, which she tied around her waist, a bottle of scent, a set of dominoes, 2 bathing caps, 7 flannel gowns, 4 cotton ones, a large bar of soap, a pair of boots, a postcard album, a toothbrush, and a pack of hairpins. "Now spit spot to bed," she said, and before they knew it, Jane and Michael, and even the twins, were in their pajamas, bathed and brushed, and read to, much to their parents and their delight. "Mary Poppins, you'll never leave us, will you?" asked Michael. "I'll stay with you until the wind changes," she said. I think we could all use Mary Poppins, couldn't we? From that night on, Mary took charge and the children followed, and every day with Mary was an adventure. They always waved to Miss Lark, the next-door neighbor, on their way out. "Good morning, and how are we doing?" she asked. Jane and Michael never knew if she was asking how they were or how she and her spoiled, fluffy little dog was. They always stopped to admire the matchman's work. One sunny day, the matchman made chalk drawings on the sidewalk instead of selling matches. "Strike me pink," Mary always said when she was pleased. On this particular day, Mary Poppins, Jane, and Michael were walking to the bus to pay a visit to Mary's uncle, Mr. Wig. "Why, is your uncle called Mr. Wig?" asked Michael. "Does he wear one?" "He is called Mr. Wig because Mr. Wig is his name," said Mary, and he doesn't wear one. He's bald." That's silly. Inside number 3, Robertson Road, an enormous table was laid for tea. But where was Mr. Wig? Jane and Michael heard a giggle and looked up. "Oh, Uncle Albert, not again. It's not your birthday, is it?" Mary Poppins asked. "I'm afraid it is my birthday," he said, "and whenever my birthday falls on a Friday, well, it's all up with me. Absolutely up. UP. "Why?" asked Jane. "And how?" asked Michael. "Well, you see, the first funny thought, and I'm up like a balloon. And until I think of something serious, I just can't come down." The children laughed, and the more that they laughed, a curious thing happened. Jane felt herself growing lighter and lighter, and it was a delicious feeling, which made her laugh even more. And then Michael began to laugh too. And what do you think happened to those laughing children? But Mary Poppins liked to be proper. Really, she said, really, such behavior. Come up, Mary Poppins, cried the children. Think of something funny. Do you guys think of something funny? But Mary didn't need to. She could fly even without laughing. She brought the table with her. Time for tea, announced Mr. Wig, and the children laughed some more. Well, that's a silly day, isn't it? It's time to go, said Mary. And after a while, and no need to think about serious things like school or growing up, they all came down with a thump, just in time to catch the bus home. Ooh, the wind's changing. You might be able to hear it. When the day started growing shorter, Mary Poppins brought Michael and Jane, I'm getting into Peter Pan, aren't I, to the most curious shop they had ever seen. Fanny, Annie, Mary called out to an empty shop. Annie, Fanny, her echo called back. Who do you think it will be? Miss Fanny and Miss Annie appeared with their mother, Mrs. Corey. How do you do? She said with a dreamy smile. She offered Jane and Michael a baker's dozen of gingerbread, each adorned with a gilt paper star. Arms piled up with the most delicious cakes, Mary and Jane and Michael headed home. That sounds like a good story. A very blustering day today. Later that night, after the gingerbread was gone and they had hidden their gold stars away in the nursery, Jane and Michael awoke to voices outside the window. Fanny and Annie each held a ladder and set them up with one end at the earth and the other end in the sky. Mrs. Corey painted the sky with glue, and Mary Poppins stuck gilt stars and began to twinkle furiously. They're stars! Are the stars gold paper, or is the gold paper stars? Jane wondered, but she knew that only someone very much wiser than Michael could give her that answer. Look at this blustery storm here. What a rascally day it is. Another bedtime on a cold winter night. Michael was thinking about elephants, as anyone does. I wonder what happens in the zoo at night. Spit, Spot, go to bed, said Mary. She knows everything, but she never tells, whispered Jane. Just as they were about to drop off into sleep, they heard a voice. Hurry! Jane and Michael followed the voice out of bed and down the lane across the park until they came to the zoo. In the light of the full moon, Jane and Michael saw the most amazing things. The animals were free. In the center of it was Mary Poppins. Of course she was at the center of it. She's wonderful. The voice bellowed to a bear wearing a coat with brass buttons. He handed each of them a ticket and told them, we are all made of the same stuff. Bird and beast, star and stone, we are all one. Winter turned to spring, as it does, and the bare cherry trees on Cherry Tree Lane blossomed and rained with pink petals, very much like today. Mary Poppins was especially quiet as she tidied up after supper. For a moment, she put one hand lightly on Michael's head and the other on Jane's shoulder. There was something different in the air. Do you think the wind is blowing? Admiral Boom's weather vane confirmed. The wind had changed. Jane and Michael heard the front door slam. They rushed to their bedroom windows. Jane and Michael opened the window. Mary Poppins, they shouted. The wind blew her over the rooftops and away from Cherry Tree Lane. Would they ever see her again? Au revoir, she called. Which means, dear readers, to meet again. And I think this story has a very important lesson. There are different seasons and different times, and always the wind will change. And I wore this shirt specifically today because it says, there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. And I think we should all live that way. Bye.